Today we have Sonika Chopra with us. Welcome, Sonika. So, Sonika, could you just let us know or give us a little insight on your interest towards this particular show going to be held on August 15th?
Oh, the show, what can I say? It all boils down to just one thing. I'm extremely impressed with Anuradha Das ma'am and her personal journey. Um, as a woman who's been through a lot myself, I just say hats off to other women who are, survivors of any sort. I just say, I think it takes a lot for a woman to become strong. I don't think strong women are just born strong. They just become strong because of everything they've, gone through in life. And Anuradha ma'am is extremely strong. So it shows how much resilience she's created by going through everything that she did and still surviving. And, not just surviving, but look at her now. She's thriving. Look at the show that she's putting together. She puts together movies. She writes. She champions causes. What's not to like? I absolutely admire the ground she walks on. How could I not say yes to whatever she's putting her mind to?
So, also, could you let me know, how do you think a fashion event like this would help us raise awareness against domestic violence among the audience or the public? Could you just give us some insights on that as well?
See, I mean, directly, I don't think it would, in all honesty. But these days, eyeballs come to anything that is fashion related. It's very simple. It's a very visual world today. Anything that looks glamorous and beautiful and attractive automatically garners attention. It garners eyeballs. It garners press. It garners the media of all sorts, social media, television, newspapers, whatever. So if you have an important topic that you want to champion, and if you want to bring attention to that, you want to get the limelight to focus on that, then I think it's a great idea. I think what Anuradha ma'am is putting together is absolutely brilliant. She's getting women of all ages and criteria and categories and backgrounds. She's getting all of us together under one roof. I think it's a huge effort, a huge task, and she and her team, including people like you, are doing a brilliant job. So yeah, I think it just works. Whatever works today is, the visual medium. And if that is needed to bring focus on something that's really important, something like domestic violence and how it's wrong and how it should be eradicated from the face of the earth, not just our country, then whatever it takes.
Yeah. Could you give us a glimpse about your career journey?
I've had a very interesting, journey. I started off being an advertising copywriter. I didn't even know what copywriting meant. I just knew that I can write really well. I can put together words. I can create lyrics and songs and limericks and jingles and all of that. I found myself in advertising. I did really well. Within just a few years, I became a creative director, and the next day I quit to become an actor. And I've been an actor, in OTT and films and short films and a lot of ad campaigns, including in Delhi. That's a trivia. And I also, in the journey of life, with all the issues that I was dealing with in my personal life, I started seeking, tips and answers to a lot of mental health issues, because I felt that people who are as privileged as me, like, I have a home, I have food on the table, I have a great life, and still there's so much stress and pressures and expectations from ourselves and from others, So I felt that if somebody as privileged as me is having to deal with so many challenges, then there must be some answers to that. So I started seeking mental health answers. And in the process, I got myself certified. And I started a company called The Happy Path. And I started doing workshops on mental health. So I did that, and I've acted and I've anchored. I've anchored more than 300 shows now, live shows, about 85 in the last 2 years, and nationally and internationally. So my focus now, I put everything aside, and my focus now is on my anchoring and acting careers. But I know that because of all that I've been through, and because of all that I know, and because of what I see in the world, I'm a very big champion of mental health causes, and mental health being a priority. So maybe not now, but in the future, I hope to do something in that regard as well.
What is the most exciting aspect of anchoring, this anchoring job?
Anchoring. Oh, anchoring. What excites me is people. No two events have the same people. So I'm also anchoring your show, your event. I know that 99% of the people in the audience I may not have met before, and it's possible that I may not meet them in the future. So just the excitement of meeting new people, and challenging myself to be able to excite them, entertain them, interact with them, imbibe from them, learn from them. All that is very exciting. It's very exciting to know that people can come from different backgrounds and still be in the same room. And it's, now I do international events. So it's also very interesting for me to learn that I can, I'm told that I have a neutral accent. So, a lot of people are saying, oh, you should do more international events because your accent is neutral. So that's not something I knew, but that's something I've learned with experience. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'm also, every event challenges me in a different way. If I do an event for a company, they have protocols and they have do's and don'ts and what colors to wear and what not to talk about. And so I get very excited when I'm doing something new, especially a new company. So I know I have to follow all this and not follow all that. And then amidst all the rules and regulations, I still have to find a way to entertain the crowd. So I like the excitement of the challenge. I don't like boring events. I don't like a boring, show where I'm given a script and I just have to read it out. I actually say no to good money when I'm offered a show like that. And I tell them, I know this anchor, I know that anchor. They do it for the money. Money is important, but I wouldn't do a show just for the money. I wouldn't do it if it was boring to me, if it didn't excite me or challenge me in some way. And so that's exciting about events, and excitement about acting. Acting is passion for me. It's like, it's as important as breathing. So just getting into a new character, to be able to change your language, your thought process, your body language, your ability to behave according to the character that you're given. That's very exciting to me.
So, are you a very outgoing and bubbly character person?
I would like to think so. I am a generally happy person. I am mostly positive. Uh, of course, I mean, challenges in life are there, but mostly I try to stay positive. I try to stay happy. I try to see the good in life. I try to see the blessings. I try to stay grateful. I'm a serious meditator, so I think that really helps. And um, having been through lots of ups and downs in life, I feel that I have finally found a center. I found myself. I'm not confused anymore. I'm not lost anymore. I'm not, worried that what's going to happen with me. I feel that I'm very clear. So I've removed a lot of the clutter from my life in the last 2, 3 years, especially COVID times. COVID really brought me down to my knees and made me ask myself questions like, what do I really want to do in life? If I were to die, what would my biggest regret be? And that's why I just decluttered everything else. And I told myself that acting and anchoring is the only thing you want to do right now. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm not worried, because I feel that wherever you put your heart and soul and effort, and if you're determined and focused and willing to really work hard, then God also helps you. So yeah, that's where I am today. That's why I think I'm able to see the positive, stay positive, even when things are challenging. Right now, things are challenging because, after COVID, after 2, 3 years, I've reactivated my acting career. I feel like a 21-year-old starting all over again. And during COVID, I restarted anchoring. So it's been 85 events since then. But I remember doing my first show online. It was a talent show where Usha Uttap ma'am had come as the VIP guest, and also Suresh Menon, the comic guy. So, so it's been challenging, but I'm happy with challenges. I'm willing to work really hard, so I'm okay. You know, and I'm very grateful. So much. I mean, if you and I are just sitting and having this conversation, that means we have a house or an office, we have a roof over our head, our stomach is full, we have internet. Clearly, we must be having a phone. If we have a phone, that means we have enough money to pay the bill. I mean, it all comes down to very basic things. It doesn't take much to keep ourselves happy. We just complicate our lives.
Correct, correct. So, as a host for this particular event, uh, what are your plans? What are your engaging plans for the audience? Like, what exactly are you planning, or how do you want to make it very interesting for the audience?
For all my events, I do prep in advance. I'm sure I'll meet your team online before we actually go to the event. I'll understand what the show flow is. I'll have my notes ready. Uh, I do try and understand what is the profile of people who are attending and what age group, what likes, dislikes. Once you tell me, okay, it's all women, the age group is between, say, 20 and 60. And most of them are, leaders from their own fields. So I try and bring that into my conversation with them, that we are all survivors of stories and, we have our own stories, our own failures, our own successes, our own memories, all that. So I'll try and bring that kind of flavor. Also, 15th August, so independence, freedom. That, I mean, there's like a million things you can do. But yeah, I'll try first to get an understanding from Anuradha ma'am and her team about what they want to do from this event. I'll try and do that. So I do a lot of things. I do shero shairi, I do jokes, I do interaction directly with the audience. I do games, just so that people are more relaxed. I like to create an environment, a relaxed environment. I don't want, however, even if it's a very, very formal affair, I feel that at the end of the day, we are human beings. If we have dressed up, we've taken our time and made the effort to go somewhere, we're not just going to, you know, get bored and come back. Yes, I mean, there's going to be food and there's always food and drink in all these events. But I don't think people are there for that. People like to feel important. And I like to make people feel important. Regardless of, I feel that everybody in my audience is equally important. There could be a prime minister in one chair and there could be a peon in the other. But for me, they're equally important. They're both my audience members, So I like to make people feel important, even the ones who are sitting at the back, even the ones who are on the sideline, even the ones who are not supposed to come on stage and speak. I just like to talk to them. I like to make them feel happy that they came to this event. I like to make them feel that, oh, I made the effort to come. It was worth it. I'm feeling so good. And people don't feel good because you got a 5,000 rupees a plate food. They feel good if you make them feel important. Even if that limelight is for 1 minute, that person is going to smile for a week after the event. If a peon or a helper or a volunteer, I just bring the limelight to that. It takes so little for me. Thank you so much to this lovely little girl called Sonakshi. She's been on her feet for 18 hours. She's not slept. She's not eaten. Even when I told her, please share my food, she didn't, because she made the event more important than herself. So big round of applause to Sonakshi. She was not expecting it, you know, but she's going to be smiling about it for a week. So that gives me joy. That gives me high. That, as an event hostess, that I feel is what I tell myself. Make as many people feel as good as you can in as little as time as possible. So that's going to be my brief even for that. Other than the brief that the client gives me, this is my brief to myself. I make fun of myself. Uh, I I make myself look small or whatever. I do nonsense things like that just so that the event becomes a little, memorable.
Wow. So, finally, what message would you like to give to the people who are in need of help, or probably to the society? What exactly do you want to tell them, or the message that you want to let them know?
It takes a very small amount of courage to open up about what's happening in your personal life. It's a Small amount of courage, and yet it's a very courageous act. Nobody wants to talk about their private life in public. But if somebody is suffering, then you need to take that one small step towards protecting yourself. I don't mean that, you should put your spouse or anybody who's abusing you into prison and make their life miserable, or kill them or have them arrested or stuff like that. But to not speak up against violence, to not speak up against abuse, to not speak up against something that's inherently and completely wrong. Uh, that's not right for you. That's not an act of self-love. So I think an act of self-love is to open your mouth and let somebody know, even if it's a sister or a bhabhi or a brother or, your mother or father, or somebody who loves you. I think you need to open up. You need to, so yeah, I would say that find that courage within you to be able to speak up. That's the most important thing.
Thank you so much, Sonika, for this wonderful session and giving us a lot of insights about your career journey, about your message that you have given to the audience.
And thank you for all the effort you're putting in for the event. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, of course. I'm also eagerly waiting to meet you all in person. And yes, hopefully, we hope the whole event becomes a great success. And yes, so meet you all on 15th August for the LIT event. Thank you so much once again, Sonika. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a nice evening. Lovely talking to you.